This great clip from 1994 of Katie Couric and Bryant Gumbel debating how to pronounce the @ symbol on the Today Show. You may have seen it, but I'll link it below because it is archival gold. They were very confused about this new and upcoming trend that was the World Wide Web. At one point, Bryant almost angrily asked, "What is the internet anyway?" And Katie Couric asked the producer off screen, "Allison, can you explain what internet is?" It's so good and seems surreal to us now, but back then there were many people who thought the internet was a fad, a passing fancy like Jenko jeans or slap bracelets or Beanie Babies. But AOL proved them wrong. Let's talk about that. Hey guys, Dallas here. It's Vlog Every Day in April Day 19, and we may all remember the AOL free trial CDs, but how did that campaign come about? In the early 90s, the internet was still a mystery or novelty to the mainstream America. It wasn't as ubiquitous as telephones or TVs. AOL wanted to increase their subscriber base, so they hired Jan Brandt, who became their chief marketing officer. So because it was proving difficult to explain what the internet was and quickly in a TV spot or print or radio ad, Brandt decided to forgo the traditional media route and go back to something antiquated. Direct mail campaign. Other companies were offering free trials as well, but Brandt had a different idea of how to get consumers to bite. According to her interview on the History Podcast, which if you're a trivia nerd like me, you should listen to it. She stated, and I quote, "It was my absolute belief that you could not send someone a package in the mail, and I don't mean an envelope, I mean a package that you could feel and not open it." Now, of course, this was prior to 9/11 and anthrax, white powder mailings, and bomb threats, but she was right. They started with a small market that cost about $250,000 in the spring and summer of 1993. Now, most direct mail campaigns top out at about 2 or 3% in response, but the AOL mailings got 10% response. That is huge because people weren't just using the trials, they were signing up to become paid subscribers in droves. With this success, Brandt went even smarter. She decided to team AOL up with Blockbuster Video, which was, in its heyday in the 90s. Oh, nostalgia. And Blockbuster gave a CD to every single one of its customers that came into the stores. Now this opened the floodgates. Then AOL partnered with Best Buy, Barnes & Nobles. They tucked them inside of magazines. They were inside your cereal boxes. They just carpet bombed the entire nation with these CDs. It was estimated at one point that 50% of all CDs produced had the AOL logo on them. 50% of all CDs produced were a part of this campaign. And this is when CDs were being bought by people. Though it cost hundreds of millions of dollars, CDs were about $1.50 per at that time, and they spent about $35 per new customer. They were registering a new user every 6 seconds at their peak. So that made it become a $150 billion company in a matter of years. According to the former CEO Steve Chase, when the company went public in '92, it had less than 200,000 subscribers. A decade later, they were in the 25 million range. That is astronomical, unfathomable growth. Now, of course, there had to be a phase out because, we're not using CDs anymore. And that was due to the introduction of broadband connection. Also, their competitors started coming up with better and faster connection alternatives. And then consumers' online habits changed. So they phased the CD out in about 2006. But for over a decade, this was a marketing campaign. And now it's seen as a collectible. You can see the CDs even in museums now. And people are trying to see if they're going to be worth anything in the future, which I highly doubt because seriously, there were millions of these things made and it hasn't even been 30 years yet. So it'll be quite a while before we can actually get some money from this. But there is little doubt that these CDs played a major part in pushing the digital age as we know it now. Anywho, that's all for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.